Welcome to The Lion Within Us, a podcast serving Christian men who are hungry to be the leaders God intends you to be. I'm your host, Chris Granger. Let's jump in. All right, guys, it's fun Friday time. Let's get right into it, okay? So scripture of the week this week is in the book of Matthew, chapter 10, one verse though, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I send you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. So be shrewd as serpents and innocent as doves." Ooh, shrewd and innocent. That's what you call to be, boys. And look, this whole idea of being as shrewd as a serpent and innocent as a dove, I took some time. I unpacked this at length. There's actually an article as well as a podcast to back up to in your feed to the daily to the SKO that came out on Monday. Okay. So check that out. Really gave you some insight on what does that mean? How can you apply this one verse to your life? Because I'm telling you, you are called to be shrewd. Now, you may think shrewd is this idea of being sneaky. That's not necessarily what that means. Discerning, understanding, looking for opportunities to do good, right? And at the same time, we can't lose our testimony. We can't let anything evil come out of our actions. So that's where the innocence comes in. So again, we unpack this. The whole idea behind the spiritual kickoff for our new listeners out there is to give you ways to simplify and apply scripture. That's it. It's very simple. How can we simplify and apply this into our walk as leaders? Okay. Now, if you missed the episode on Wednesday, our meet episode, we had John Jones. It was a great conversation with him talking about a higher calling, everything that we do as Christians is in the workforce who have been called to be a first responder. Maybe it's a firefighter or an EMT or police officer or what, all these different types of fields. We have different callings. We do. This calling we have, if you are truly called from God, it's a tough one. It just is. You see some stuff every day that people just shouldn't have to see. And knowing how to process it and knowing how to answer to questions that are inevitably going to come, right? When you see this type of evil happening every day, is important. So I encourage you again, if you know someone or if you are a first responder, get a copy of this resource. If you need support getting it, you let me know. The Lion Within Us will take care of you. If you can't afford it right now, we want to help you because the last thing I want is a first responder out there who needs a resource and they can't afford it at this time. Let me know. This is part of how we grow our ministry. We want to support you when you need it the most. But I believe in this book. I believe in what John has done. I believe in the resources because I know one thing. The evil one is trying to steal, kill, and destroy every day. First responders, they're getting the firsthand view of it. And as Christians, particularly Christian men, we need to be coming up, lifting up our brothers and sisters, and doing all we can to come alongside them. So check it out. Hopefully you enjoyed that conversation with him. Again, you know someone, or if you are and you haven't listened to it yet, share that one out, okay? Share it out. All right. So now let's get to our tips. So for the Lion Within Us each week, we do a health tip, a wealth tip, and a self tip, okay? The whole idea is health, strengthening our mind and our bodies. Our wealth is being better stewards of our finances and our careers. And self tip is how can we improve as being a husband and fathers in our life? When we have these calls, this is a clear callings, and these are three pillars that we want to help you with. So the health tip, okay? I'll give a big shout out to my buddy, Stephen Morse, who's part of our community. But he told me, he's like, it's not selfish to put yourself before others. I was like, I like that. I'm going to use it. But what he said is like, you know what? If you don't take the time to take care of yourself, no one else will. You know, if your bucket is empty, you can't pour it out. There's nothing to pour. So you're not going to be able to help others, period, if you don't have it. It's the whole mindset is why they teach you this when you're in airplanes. We all know this. You have to put on your mask first in order so you can help others. Because if you don't have your mask on, you'll run out of oxygen. You'll be useless. No. Taking that time to take care of yourself is not selfish. And if for some reason you have this mindset that it is, I want to clarify one thing with you right now. That's a lie straight from the pit of hell. That is a lie. What the evil one's trying to do when you think this way, he's trying to steal every bit of joy, every bit of strength you have to make you run on a ragged edge so that you will be ineffective in your mission. Don't let him do it. Recognize that you need to take care of yourself. You need to steward the time well so that when the call comes and opportunity presents itself for you to honor and glorify God by serving others, you'll be ready. All right. So remember, it's not selfish to take care of yourself. Now, wealth tip. This whole idea of shrewdness. I wanted to just throw out this idea for you guys. Spend your money with shrewdness. Okay. That means you need to make decisions that align with your ultimate long-term goals rather than any short-term flash in the pants things that you're chasing right now. This means prioritizing the needs over the wants. Okay. We've already talked about that in the past. Investing in wise, sound strategies and seeking out opportunities to save and grow your resources versus just throwing money for the sake of throwing money at stuff. Okay. Now, if you want to be shrewd with your finances, you need to regularly look at them. You need to look at your financial plans, your performance. You need to be looking at if you an income statement every month. Where's it going? A budget, and you need to make the adjustments when necessary. And ultimately, as a steward who is trying to do what God's called us to do and honor and glorify Him with our finances, you need to check out how you're managing your budgets and your blessings that He has entrusted to you. Now, to you, He may give you a certain amount of money. That's great. And for someone else, it may be 10x that. Don't get caught up in the number. How are you stewarding what He's provided you? Maybe you make 30, 35,000 right now. How are you stewarding that? Well, maybe you make 235,000 right now. How are you stewarding that? The principles, the mindset behind both scenarios are the same. The math's different, but the principles are the same. Be a shrewd investor, particularly around your spending. All right, now self-tip. This is to you dads out there. I just want to say something. Fail forward. Okay, fail forward. So now, when your kids see you fail, it presents an opportunity to teach a lesson. And it's right there. It's a teachable moment. Are you going to use it? What you're showing your kids right here is that failure is a natural part of life, and it helps us grow. So what you can do is you can model resilience by discussing with them, hey, this is what went wrong. This is where I screwed up at. Can you believe I did that? Here's what I learned from it. And you know what? Here's what I'm going to do in the future to make sure it doesn't happen again. Okay. They need to also know that the failure isn't the ultimate end, but rather it could be the stepping stone that you need necessary to improve so that you can be successful in the future. Because you want them to have a healthy attitude towards challenges and setbacks. The last thing you want to do is just be on them mowing down any challenges that your kids have in their path. Can't do that. That's not going to teach them to be resilient. Okay. It's not going to teach them to persevere. It's not going to teach them to adapt. And for some reason in this world we live in now, those qualities have been taken back because we just want it to be easy for them. Wrong. The Bible does not say, hey, let's make a path easy for our kids. It does not. We need to teach them. We need to instruct them. We need to give them opportunities, and they need to see you fail as well. You failing as a man does not mean that you're not a good dad. It just means you're human. Use that to show them what you've learned, how are you going to improve, and you never know just by that little step of vulnerability, the types of conversations and opening and awareness that they now have. And also, you're going to improve and increase your status as a man of God in their eyes just because they're seeing you willing to accept, to be compassionate, to be vulnerable, be transparent. Man, that's just going to go so far for you. So look, fail forward out there, dads. Lean into that. All right. So there are your 3 tips, guys. You got your, we want to make sure we're not, understand it's not being selfish to put ourselves before others. We need to take care of ourselves to be able to serve. Okay. We need to spend with shrewdness. And then we need to fail forward. Okay. All right, guys. So look, the book of the week this week, obviously we're going to be promoting my buddy, John Benjamin Jones, his book, A Higher Calling, a biblical guide for first responders, military, and veterans. So guys, if you fall into one of those categories, a first responder, a military, or a veteran, or if you know somebody in those 3 categories, you need to get this resource for them. It's a super short read, guys. It's what, 100 and something? Yeah, 136 pages, 140 pages or so. Guys, lots and lots of scripture in here packed throughout. Great resource. If you know someone in this line of work, you're not going to go wrong by picking this up and passing it on, okay? All right. So let's get into our dad jokes for us, fellas, this week. So we got two good dad jokes for you right here. Dad joke number one. What kind of lights did Noah use on the ark? Well, floodlights, of course. There you go, fellas. Let's talk about how that one sits with you. Number two. Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in the trees? I don't know, because they're so good at it. So there you go, fellas. Let us know which one you like. Number one and number two, what kind of lights did Noah use at the ark? And that would be floodlights. And then why don't you see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're so doggone good at it. So if they get an eye roll at the dinner table tonight, then the dad joke works. Okay, don't shoot the messenger. I'm sorry, but the dad jokes work. Now, if you get a little bit of grin from your significant other, you're welcome. We're helping you out right here, fellas. That's what it's all about. Now, if you have a dad joke that you're dying to tell, and no one thinks that they're just not listening to you, send it to me. support@thelionwithin.us. We'll put that in the queue. And if we use the dad joke, we'll give you a shout out on the show as well. If you want that shout out, maybe it's, you don't want it. And also we'll hook you up with some free resources just for helping us out as we grow. Okay. All right. So now the question of the week this week is really, how can you be shrewd and innocent in today's world? Okay. Those two things don't typically go together. Shrewdness and innocence don't go together. Scripture shows us different. So how can you do this? Again, spiritual kickoff time. If you need to go listen to that and have a better understanding, go do that now. All right. So guys, share this out with others. Thank you so much for listening. I mean, we put a lot of work into the Line Within Us. If you like what we're doing every week, love to have you as a supporter. Love to have you in our community first and foremost, the lionwithin.us. Maybe that's not for you right now. Then hop on and be a monthly donor to the show. We would really appreciate your support as we're doing what God's called us to do. We feel like we're leaning in. We're putting this content out. We're doing everything we can to put the highest quality content out so that it will help encourage you in your walk to just do what God's calling you to do, to be the leader that He's called you to be. And it's so important to do that, guys. So consider being a donor for us. The lionwithin.us is where you can get connected with all the resources. Prayer for the good Lord willing. We'll be back here next Monday. We'll be giving you some more episodes next week. But you just want to say thank you. I know there's so many podcasts you can listen to, so many people that you could choose to spend time with. The fact that you even listen to the show blows me away every week. So I'm baffled. I'm just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you with the utmost gratitude, sincerity. I know you don't have to listen to us. So I pray we keep putting out content that encourages you, that you like, that you feel inspired by. So have a great weekend. Use those doggone dad jokes. Get after it. We'll see you next week, guys. And look, just keep unleashing the lion within.
I don't know about you, but I used to find Mondays really rough. I would find myself trying to reset for work, trying to get my bearing on the family calendar, trying to find time for my own spiritual growth and development. And often I found myself overwhelmed or just flatly ignoring aspects of my life that I know are meaningful to me. What I learned was that if I had immediate access to important and impactful spiritual topics and reflections to start my week, well after the allure of a Sunday sermon has passed, I would set my whole week up to be more meaningful and for the opportunity to make a true impact. If you think that getting such a boost would help your week to get started on the right foot, we would love for you to sign up for the Weekly Roar, which is our newsletter that is produced by The Lion Within Us. Each week, we'll deliver a powerful reflection and practical steps to help you apply Scripture with clarity and purpose, all being rooted in light and truth. So in just a few minutes, we hope to arm you with insights for living out biblical leadership with confidence and strength, and maybe even have a little extra bounce in your step. If that sounds useful, head over to thelionwithin.us/roar to sign up today. That's thelionwithin.us/ROAR to get your weekly roar today.